Welcome. Here we are outside of Manzanares, on the knife's edge of a mountain that is named after a little altar here called El Divino Nino, which means the divine boy. Over there is Montserrat, and over there, Cerro Guadalupe, other mountains around in this area. People come up here to this altar occasionally to light candles and to pray and to do little pilgrimages from down below. Thing is that it's actually quite difficult to get up here, even though it doesn't seem that far away. You have to have some good, strong legs, and also not have fear of falling into an abyss. But, anyways, I would like to tell you all about a poem that I'm currently writing called El Sancocho, which is a type of soup that is very common in Colombia, and here, especially. And the idea of the poem is based off of the vultures here, who are a different breed than the ones found in America or in other parts of the world. Because here, they're extremely beautiful. They're black headed, and they have white tips. They're white tips on the ends of their wings. And all of that together, they have a posture that is extremely, you could say, uh, well, you could say they walk around with a strut. And to me, it makes them extremely beautiful. Especially the way, as it's called here, que rezan. They pray whenever they stretch out their wings to dry them off after a storm. In this poem, the story of it goes that one day a family is making a sancocho in the traditional way, alongside a river. It's a giant pot, filling it with everything that there is that the family has brought together, whether it's the yuca, the potatoes, some kind of meat, and so on. And as they're preparing it, there's a vulture that's watching, a single vulture. And this vulture, for whatever reason, puts himself at risk, or is a risk taker. And whenever the family isn't paying attention and they're just enjoying their time together, this vulture comes along and tumbles it down, just puts it on the ground, and starts to eat the meat and the potatoes and everything that is in the sancocho. And from there, the story goes that this vulture, after doing that, starts to become more and more and more of a risk taker, or continuously gets more aggressive and starts taking food from the plates of people and starts taking out trash and leaving it everywhere, starts stealing food from children and from old people. And over time, as it continues to eat all of this food that people eat, a lot of greasy things, a lot of malnutritious foods, it gets fatter and fatter and rounder and rounder and rounder. And it struts about proudly as it goes along throughout the town, and looks down at all the other vultures who are still skinny, eating the scraps of meat of something that died wherever they can find it. And eventually, the vulture gets so round that it can't really lift up its wings anymore, and they just become like the wings of a tuxedo or of a suit, strapped right there. And then, one day, eventually, the vulture gets so fat that it can only walk. And on some day, a storm hits. And that while all the other vultures are able still to open up their wings and pray and do as they regularly do, this one vulture can no longer do so. It's so fat, and its wings are stubby, have become stubby. And because of that, it can never dry its plumels. And they eventually start to rot. When they start to rot, they become gangrenous. They start to cause an infection throughout the body of the vulture until it finally perishes of that infection. And at that point, it is so malformed because of the way it is eaten and consumed that people come by and mistake it for some other bird, for some other creature, possibly a fat black chicken or rooster. And then they take it, they take off the plumos, and then they use it for a sancocho.